company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We came on here today to prove an individual who constantly has a habit of putting his foot in his mouth. Got embarrassed today pretty bad when he tried to make a false demonstration against a product that wasn't even ours. And first thing he says is, this is his black product. I'm going to show you exactly how dark it comes up. He faked the review on a product that was actually black paint, as you've been doing from day one, faking demonstrations. Then you come in and you actually take the same video. You try to do a video of our product and coming up too dark, and you got embarrassed on that. Not only was I able to prove you're a fake and a phony, but I'm going to embarrass you even more. So let me explain something to you why you got to stop putting your foot in your mouth. I'm not like you. When I design a product, I put it through the test. Everybody sees the live demonstrations, the tests I put my products to. Wouldn't you think I'd be smart enough if I'm going to test my black paint, I would test against black vinyl, black paper, black paint, all those things? Because when I'm doing contracts with companies, the first thing that pops in their mind is, look, why should we pay you when we could just do it with black vinyl or the back of a black screen and do the same thing? Usually I don't entertain you on things like this because I try to save you the embarrassment that you're about to receive. So you requested for me to turn over my screen to show the black end, to show the difference between a black Nova and a black piece of vinyl. Let me explain to you how it works. The black technology we developed has an enhancer in it that allows to see white light, as in a white level. When it comes to vinyl and paint and things like that, they don't have the ability to be able to see white light. They can't see it. And I'm going to show you why. You're about to get embarrassed. You requested it. Now, after I do this demonstration, I want you to know something. Don't you ever request anything from me ever again. But I'm going to explain something to you, what I want to see from you. I want to see those 3 tablespoons of black paint mixed into a quart matched against all your screens. I want to see that $4,000 P1 you got display a star, any contrast, but a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment. Stop dodging my challenges. So I'm going to show you what happens if you take a black vinyl surface, as you think it's going to match the same, and you put it against our black technology. See, when we do this, we test white levels. Oh, that's got to hurt, doesn't it? Yeah, see, the problem is when you're dealing with black vinyl, 2 things happen. Number 1, it hot spots like crazy. Number 2, it can't pull a white level to save its soul. It comes up dark. That's what happens. How do we know this? Because we test this stuff all the time. Anytime I have to do a projection screen, a black screen, the first thing we have to do is we have to test the screen against any black surface. But since you don't do any tests, you don't know that. Yeah, it's gotta hurt. You want to see it up close? Yeah, that's gotta hurt. It can't produce white light. It's black vinyl. See, that's the problem, is you don't understand anything there is about black technology. You don't know how it works or nothing. You just think in your mind it's just black paint and that's all that it is. Maybe he's using high power projectors. We done proven all that stuff. We done debunked all your theories down the drain. You don't understand the science behind it. When we don't understand the science behind something, you just start spitting out all these theories on what it could be, making yourself look like a complete idiot. There you go. That's the screen switched around on the black side. Any black surface can pull a contrast level. The problem you have is the white level. The white level is needed in order to get those natural tones. When you made that statement a few minutes ago, 4 hours ago, asking me to turn that screen around, I smiled from ear to ear. See, I test my stuff. That's why my product works. And I actually display my tests on YouTube so other people can see them being tested, something you never do. "4K Snow Screensavers." See how dark that image is coming up? Yeah. can't produce a white level. Much like your screens can't see color or contrast, all you can see is white levels. Oh, that's got to hurt. That has got to hurt right there. You really thought you had me by saying that, oh, let me flip the screen around. Hey, let me tell you something, Dodo, and I hate to call you Dodo, but you are. I have to do these tests all the time. All the time. The tests that you don't do, I have to do these tests all the time. This is why my tests are so rigorous, because I have to run and do all these tests. Wouldn't you think this would cross my mind? Don't bother giving me any more dumb, stupid challenges. From now on, do what we ask you to do. Take that 2 or 3 teaspoons of whatever nonsense that is and make that product and match it against your product to see exactly how close it comes up. Because I'm pretty sure your product will come extremely close to primer or any kind of other paint out there on the market that's gray. There you go, read it a week. That's gotta hurt. Turn down my video right there for a minute. Gotta hurt, doesn't it? Really thought you had me, didn't you? So when you do your work, and you do your research, and you do your homework, people have gotten challenges like this before, not from you, from companies that will ask me, well, what's the difference in me just draping a big piece of black vinyl across the stage? Or what if I paint it black? I've been through all this already. This is why we have to do these tests. So we can go in and say, hey, look, this is the difference between, this is our product right here, and this is the product that you have right there. That's what's going to happen if you do that. Where instead of when you made your product, you should have tested your product against primer or any kind of gray paint that could have came close to looking like your product to make your product as different as possible, but you didn't because your product is actually primer. You want to get a little, well, let's pause it right there on the wolf's face. And let's see how close those white levels come up next to my screen. Sorry, I got a crack in my screen right there. Look at that. Look at the difference in that. Look at the difference in that all the way down. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. I'm not going to entertain you anymore in your little tiny asking me to do this and do that. I want you to go in and do the demonstration we asked. If not, I'll buy all your products. I'll go buy me a bunch of primer and I'll find out exactly which one comes close. So what you need to do is stop trying to trick. I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's not going to work because, like I said, I test my products. I can run my stuff through tests that your screen's going to begin to go through. If I were to take your product right now and start running it through tests, it would fail miserably on every little. We actually did that already. But as I said before, do what we asked you to do. Go out and make that from the video that you deleted off of YouTube. Go make the paint. Match the paint against your products to see how close they come together. We don't want to see any, slightly off by a little bit of blue or slightly off by a little darker red. We want to see actual change in the video. You see the difference between this? It's a huge difference between this and this. Is a huge difference. That's what we want to see. To see if you're not basically selling your customers primer, which you are. So you got embarrassed. See how bad this gets for you when you do dumb stuff? I mean, first you come out and you do a fake review against a black Nova, which you don't even have to begin with. It's black paint. Then you get embarrassed in that. We prove you wrong. Then you go out and you take the exact same surface that you did in the fake review and you try to do a demonstration on showing my product. Mine, you did the whole thing in the dark. We have lights on. My product being coming up so dark. So not only did we were able to basically show our screen in white levels and colors and so forth, the whole 9 yards, not running through a bunch of videos like you do real fast in the dark, but we're able to prove better technology on different levels of whites, blues, greens, different colors, contrast, the whole 9 yards. They were able to produce images next to your product without the screen looking like how you portrayed it in the video. Then took the actual video that you used in the demonstration and went screenshot by screenshot to show exactly where you falsified and faked the demonstration. If you faked the demonstration, you faked the review. Sorry about that, people. Now, out of all that, after putting you out there, went downstairs and got myself a stick of wood from last year from a projection screen I was working on that had to be primed. And not only did it match both of your screens, but both of your screens matched each other and the demonstration, which shows your stuff is nothing more than primer. And then you send out a request by saying, oh, turn the screen around the other way. I want to see how it looks. I was grinning from ear to ear. I would gladly do that for you with no problem whatsoever. There's a difference right there. Black surface can't pull white level. And if it can't pull white level, that means it can't pull anything else. See the difference, Crow? Fernando, whatever you want to call yourself. Do you see the difference? There you go. See the difference? That's what happens. Now that you haven't completely embarrassed yourself, again, I'm getting tired of this. I'm going to go about my business. And what you're going to do is you're going to show that P1 with that 2,000,000 to 1 contrast in a fully lit environment. Stop doing dark demonstrations and showing off contrast demonstrations because you're faking it when you do that. Show a star field. And then I want you to go out and get that video that you deleted, because if not, we'll upload it again and show people exactly the video that you deleted. And take those 3 teaspoons of black paint, mix into a quart of white, and put it against all your screens and show those demonstrations, not with a bunch of pretty colors, with multiple shades of colors, contrast levels, white levels, and then you can put in those different colors if you want. All right? So I'm tired of embarrassing you. It's getting sad. It's getting real sad. You want to see something else? There you go. Look at the angle. Look how the screen turns dark. The other screen turns dark. Look at the angle. Oh, that's got to hurt. Anyway, you bought it on yourself, so, you know, turn the screen around. Are you kidding me? You're going to wish you didn't make that comment. Turn the screen around. You gotta be kidding me. Any black screen can pull a contrast level. Black paint, black vinyl, all that can pull a contrast level. It's easy because it pulls black. The one thing, and I've told people before, that you have to get out of a black screen is a white level. White levels are very important because without the white levels, the screen becomes dark. And if the screen becomes dark, the colors become dark. Much like when you use black paint, which you did in your demonstration. You used black paint, and that's why the colors, white levels came up that dark. And when the white levels came up that dark, the colors come up dark, the skin tones come up dark, everything comes up dark because the screen can't produce white level. Much like black paint in your demonstration. Boy, I'm telling you, it gets better and better. So much like the screen, if I turn around on the opposite side, it can't pull white level. And if it can't pull white level, the images come up dark. There you go. All right, so I'm going to call this my 4K stick. Where's my stick at anyway? Oh, here it is. I was telling my buddy about that before one of my partners, I was telling about, he wanted me to turn the screen around and show the black part. He started laughing. He said, you know, you do those tests? We've done those tests before. I said, yeah, he doesn't know. We'll find out today. He doesn't know. We'll find out today. You don't do any, you can't do it. Any of our demonstrations, we have to display a star field demonstration. I have to display a star field demonstration whether the screen is blue or green or pink. I got to display a star field demonstration. Even with the ultralight grays, I can display a star field demonstration. I have to show contrast levels, the whole 9 yards. I can't pick and choose what videos I want because it's going to make the screen look good, which you fail to do in your demonstrations. Need some type. Go have the learns. Have the learns. You know, the screen, so anyway, when I was showing you the screen's cracked, when you paint your screen, this is a test screen. That's why it has all the different colors splattered around the frame. It takes 30 applications to crack a screen. I know, I've done it. So people ask me, can I paint over that screen? If I have your previous screen paint and say I have a new one that comes out and they'll say, can I paint over that screen? Like, yeah, you can do it around 29 times before the screen cracks. Motorized projection screen, we had a test motorized projection screen. Painted that thing around, I think, about 30 times, about 30, 32 times. Yeah, before we actually blew out a motor. So I know. Well, I'm basically doing test screens all the time. Let me bring it in here real quick. I'm trying to find maybe some Velcro. You always got tons of Velcro laying around the house. The minute I want it, oh, here we go. What to say, the minute I want it, I can't find it. All right, so I'm going to show you something real quick. There's this product right here. This right here is a piece of wood I've had in my basement since last year. I think he got mad, and keep in mind, let me explain something to you. Vinyl and paint are two different surfaces, so you understand how that works. Telling me to turn my screen around, I could have sat there and said, well, you know, there's two different surfaces, so that's not fair. No, I'd gladly turn that around because I've done that test already. I had to do it for a company. But if you did enough tests on your products, well, you would know. We got a little bit left over. What happened was, if you watch, I'm going to show you the unboxing video. When he sent it, very little tape, cracked wide open, paint was spilled every place. But we still had enough to salvage it over. Pour a little bit down on here. There we go. It's not going to go well for you, Jack. Get mad all you want. You bought it on yourself. This is primer right here that I picked up at Lowe's. I ain't worried about my countertop. You know how much paint I've spilled on my countertop? So don't worry about this. For $7. $7. That's what I picked it up for. I got it because it was building a frame in the back, and basically, look at that. Told you. I told you when I had this product over here and I looked at it and I said, I know what this is made of. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. And it's primer. Let's see, we can dry this in a couple of minutes. That's what it is. It's primer. And you'll sit there and argue I have no proof. Well, where's the video that you made of you showing people how to make that screen paint? Because it disappeared off your account awful fast the minute we displayed what you were doing. Disappeared kind of quick. Where'd you go? Look on the top. Let me tell you what you're doing. When you make the product, and I guarantee you, bar none, this is what you're doing. You go down to Lowe's or one of those places and you're buying yourself probably about a gallon of that paint. Then you're mixing a little Christmas glitter in it. You probably might put a little, there's no metallic in it whatsoever, period. There's none of that in there at all. It's pretty much a bunch of glitter. That's what it is. And you're mixing that in there, and then basically you put a couple of teaspoons of black and white. Maybe you might get it gray and put a couple of teaspoons in there to kind of mix it up a little bit of black. You know what I mean? That's what you're doing. You're just going back and forth. But people have to understand that black is a toner, so that's all it's used for. This stuff, people have been making this stuff, and it's called a YouTube paint. Look it up. It's called a YouTube paint back in the day. This is where the gray wolves were the black diamonds of the projection screen world. That's what it was. And people were mixing different forms of gray and black paints together to get a perfect tone for a projection screen. And that's pretty much all it is. Because we used to make this stuff back in the day. Digital One Crystal Screen Paint was actually made with white and black paint, and it was made using the same kind of glitter that you would use for hobbyists. That's what it was used. That's how our product was made. That's all it was. When we first made Digital One. But now, when you're dealing with a black element, a darker screen that comes into play like Black Diamond, then you're going to have to do, then things get a little complicated. Because now you're going to have to develop a surface that can pull a black image contrast level, but maintain a white level at the same time. White level can't be too high where the contrast and color suffers, but it can't be too low where the screen comes up too dark. And then all the while, once you're trying to figure out that crazy combination all together, then you have to figure out how it's going to marry to the surface. And if it marries to the surface, well, how is the environment going to affect the screen? How much lighting you're going to have in the environment is going to affect the screen? What kind of projectors can you use? Ultra short though, long throws, or LED projectors going to have a problem. So there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into play when you're dealing with black technology. The problem with him is he doesn't understand that when you have a black screen, there's a certain level of white light that's needed in order to make the screen to produce a beautiful image, which you're watching right now, the screen too. He doesn't understand that. Some science behind it. But when you're dealing with a gray paint, like the old paints we used to make back in the day, things are a little easier to make because it's a gray paint, you know? Your contrast levels are only going to be as good as dark as the room becomes. I don't care if you have a 22,000 to 1. That's not going to change jack on your projector, which we keep asking them over and over again to do one in a fully lit environment and do a star field demonstration. You'll notice that his screen won't pick up 1 ounce of black at all, period. Not even with a projector that has a 2 million to 1 contrast. It won't see it. Why do you think he fought so hard to make sure we didn't get his product down here? He fought really hard. He canceled orders left and right. You watched him do it. Made all kinds of excuses. Now we have your product here. This is your legit product. It's yours. But the product you have, what you review you made, that's, yeah, we already proven that. You're faking demonstrations. Pretty soon that stick's going to be dry. I'm going to lay that stick against your product over here. And keep in mind, half of that stick has primer on it. One half is primer, one half is your product. And already from what I just painted on there, it blended in very well. Now, I'm going to lean up on the screen. I'm going to block half the screen so you can see it. That's his product right there. From right there to there. And that's the primer. See the primer right there? That's the original primer that we had downstairs. And that's the screen right there. Watch this. Told you. Primer. You're spending $75 for primer. I don't need to buy your product. I can make it. Just go to Home Depot and get myself a gallon. Matter of fact, I can just make the digital and crystal screen paint. It does the same thing. I made your product before your product ever existed. That's how I know how it's going to react. That's how I know how it's going to act. Let's get my remote control over here. Color red. Color red. I gotta look into that. Color blue. Reacts the same way. And look at the primer here. It's also matching your screen there. I'm going to have to get myself another paint stick downstairs. How you make your product is, to make it darker, you put in a couple of teaspoons of black. And still next to our black screen, you're not producing blue. That's not blue. That's blue. That's why you tell your customers to sit in a dark environment. That's why you tell your customers to calibrate their projectors, because your customers are complaining that the screen is washing out and fading. And you can honestly say to them, well, I never said it was ambient light rejection. But you're constantly going trying to challenge ambient light rejection screens that are ambient light, they're designed for it. Another piece of wood in my basement. Primer. Cancel. I forgot we can come out of there. You hate the fact that you were proven wrong. You hate the fact that you were outed as a fake. You hate the fact that you've been scamming your customers, which you have been. That's just basic. Like I said, primer I've got over at Home Depot and Lowe's. make them believe something that's not true. Use a bunch of expensive, high-powered projectors to make your screen look good. Dark environments. We call those smoke and mirrors over here. Because you're hiding something. And all the while we did these demonstrations, not once was our screen able to produce that black image which you displayed. Same thing like when I turned my screen around and I showed the dark side of it, you notice that it couldn't produce white light because it's not designed to produce white light at all, period. The opposite side of the screen is designed to produce white light. Same thing like black paint. Black paint is not designed to produce white light. It's black paint, which you've been using in your demonstrations. Tell me how I got a piece of wood over there that's sitting right across your screen and it's blending your screen. Whew. Or, tell you, never ever get used to this, man. Never get used to this. This is, well, I do use this, which is kind of funny. 4K demonstrations. Let's go over to Mr. Now we can do this one right here. Oh, and meanwhile, remember, all the demonstrations I was doing, my screen is still on. It's still running. It's been running since 10 o'clock this morning. And every time I do a demonstration, when I turn over and show that screen, first we start it in the morning, then we start it in the afternoon, and then the evening hour, and boom, it's still running. I can run my screen in that window from the day I get up in the morning all the way until nighttime, and it'll still produce an image. You can't do that on a $59 projector. Well, I got to order my other projector too. $175. Yes, sirree. Ah, man. How many people did you steal from, Crow? With these fake demonstrations on these products? How many people did you trick and convince them that they were buying a good product and they weren't buying a good product? You know the difference between my Digital One Crystal screen paint and your product? In my demonstrations, I was able to display all my demonstrations in fully lit environments. That's how I got the contract. The demonstrations you were doing in the dark, I didn't even do that when I had this kind of paint. I was doing the opposite what everybody else was doing. Everybody was displaying their demonstrations in the dark. I was doing mine in the light. Can't put the contrast levels in the coral reef. This is how well your stuff blends together. And this is the piece of wood I had downstairs in the basement. And yet my screen, being as dark as it is able to easily blend and test. Woo, man, I'm glad I wasn't standing in front of that. Let's put that back up there. Man, God, it's good. There we go. So let's get into that again. Sometimes I think he'd be over there praying evil thoughts. Like, don't let that video keep on going. So see how dark that screen is compared to mine? See how black my screen is? Now watch this. Isn't that interesting? You have to have a black screen to pull white light. That's the problem. You don't understand black technology and how it works. That's the problem. You think all black screens produce nothing but dark images, and gray screens are the way to go, and this, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And this right here, I'm going to call this my 4K stick, paint stick. This is what this is going to be, my 4K paint stick. I'm able to match your screen with no problem whatsoever on your personal mix. Oh, he's plenty mad. But you're the one that asked me 2 hours ago. Send me another email. I gotta block you from the email. Send me another email saying, oh, check out this video demonstration right here. I want you to turn your screen around. Oh, I did turn my screen around. Showed you the difference too. Vinyl hotspots like crazy. And number one, it can't pull light level. Huh. Because I've had companies say, well, we can just take a huge black piece of vinyl and we can drape it across it. Yeah, well, I've had that before. What's the difference between your technology and black vinyl? And there you go. I can show them. Just like I just showed you just now. But there's no difference in my stick, my 4K paint stick downstairs in the basement that I've had down there last year is matching your screen. Outer space screensavers. Let's take you someplace you can't go. Judging already by the background of the Fire Stick, you definitely can't go here. Let's start off with some, well, we already see it already. Blues are not coming up for you, and neither is the background coming up correctly. So this is what you got to do tomorrow. Because you're going to put in these done requests. I'm not going to see more of your requests. I proved you wrong. Today has been a day of just crushing you into dust. That's what it's pretty much been for me today. Proved you wrong on just about every level. Debunked all your theories on how you outed you as a fake and a scammer already from the door. So in order for you to I say me to come back from this, don't come back with any more slander nonsense. That's what you need to do. You need to go make that 3 teaspoons of black paint and 1 white quart of paint, that video that you deleted off of YouTube, make that product and match that stuff toward all your stuff and show a difference. I don't want to see a slight lighter blue, red, or a slight different color. I want to see a huge, massive difference, like night and day. You know the difference between night and day is 2 different areas, night and day. Then I want you to take that P1 and get up early in the morning and light up that entire wall. No lights behind the back screen, not that little dinky light you have in the middle of your ceiling, none of that. Open up them curtains in the back, let that light push and light that area up, and then do a star field demonstration. Because every time you do a contrast demonstration, you're always in the dark. And that's the best time to do a contrast demonstration on a light screen because you won't see the flaws. 4K snow demonstrations. Or I should have went with more like, oh yeah, this will work. This will definitely work. Wait. We got to go back to that. We got to go back to that. I'm curious how we got that black image on the screen, and we're actually you're on your paint right now. And that one primer too on top of that. Do you see how bright that is? Do you see how high the white level is on our black technology to be sitting next to a screen? Another alone primer? You see the difference? But I got to educate him on this one. You see the difference in that? You see how dark my screen is? I'm sitting there right now in front of my projector right now. Do you see how dark my screen is next to your product? The 2 sticks? And how I'm able to produce an image that bright? Yeah, this is how we know that you mix black paint in. This is how we know. All right, let's move on from here. We can educate this boy all day. See, I can show white levels, no problem. Because I know my screen's not going to produce an image so dark you can't see it. You can even make out the branches, the trees. You can even see the falling snow. And for you naysayers that are in here watching, and I know you're in here watching to see whether or not if my screen was going to fail or not. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Because I test my technology. I put it through the ringer. And people watch me do it. Take a projector of 1,000 lumens and then throw it back 22 feet and then sit there and put a 130-watt lamp in the middle of the screen just so I can see if I can wash the screen out. So let me get this straight. I can see white levels, I can see color, and I can see contrast. Where when he does a demonstration, he stays as far away from contrast as possible. He'll pick the most colorful demonstration you possibly get, and he'll do it in the dark. I told you he's going to do it in the dark. Has to, his colors will wash out. Man, if you think this is embarrassing, wait till the signature comes in. 150-inch signature on a $175 projector. I'm going to blow your screen, clean out the water. There's a coating that we're going to add to the signatures. There's an upgrade we're adding to them. It's going to be crazy. And I'm going to put your product against there. And that screen at 150 inches is going to turn a deep, deep blue. And your screen is going to remain a faded white. But you asked for it, so you're going to get it. And I'm going to do it on a $75 projector. 720p in a fully lit environment. Because keep in mind, the screen we have upstairs can do it when I got window light nailed on the screen with no problem. I don't see any deep blacks. Like you said, the screen is supposed to come up black. I'm not seeing that. Interesting. And yet, wait a minute, you can make out everything in the screen. You're not even picking up the grass. All right, let's see. So we did our white levels. We went over and we did contrast. Let's see, we did blues, different colors. We know we can't pick up color. So we know that from the door. We did all these already. These were already done. That one was done right there. We did the color change out, which is probably going to come with the commercial. Okay, a little too much information, but whatever. Let's move on. So we're going to do a color change out. The screen remains the same. It doesn't change anything new. That's all. And you're probably going to say, but the screen on this side right here, that one right there is a better color than this one. It's a couple of shades of black, and it basically means it has more black than the other screen, that's all. It's not red. That's blue. So let me get this straight. Say you, and I like using this term, say you go out and you get yourself a brand new car. You've been saving up for this car, and you finally get it, and you say, what color you want it in? I want it in blue. That's the color I want. So you come back, they park the car in front of the house, all paint up, all done, and it's that color. Which one looks like blue to you? Would it be this one, the black screen, or would it be this one? I'm pretty sure if you paid an arm and leg to have a car that looks like it's supposed to be blue, and it came up looking like this, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to talk with that dealership the next day. I wonder if they use watercolors to paint your car. It's gonna rain. We've got things to do, Crow. I got many things to do, and to keep coming on here and embarrassing you is really starting to get old. It's getting old. So you wanted me to turn my screen around? I showed you, no problem. Not only did I show you, well, you had to take a hit for it, for basically disrupting my time. So the hit you had to take for it was to basically display your screens again side by side, but not only use my paint sticks, but to basically coat one of the paint sticks with your screen paint right there so everybody can watch it to show how fast it blends into both of your screens at the same time. Look at this. Now, instead of sitting here trying trying to give us all kinds of strange demonstrations to do to try to have us back out of it. How about you explain to your customers why your products look a heck of a lot like a $7 primer? Okay, we did that one, and we did that one already. Did we do this one yet? No, we did this one yet. Look, you're not even picking up the black background. God gracious. I don't even know what's more sadder, the fact that you just did a video proclaiming our product can be so dark you can't even see it, or the fact that I have a primed stick up there matching your screen. All right, we're done here. I've had my fun. I have to go back. I'm gonna go sit down and relax. I'm gonna jump into some VR for a little bit. Go do this little paintballing for a little bit. It's been fun, Crow. Hope you enjoyed your humble pie. Try to get a large glass of milk. We don't want you to choke. Let me tell you something, Crow. After a while, even Christians can lose their patience. And like I said, and I tell people, not mad at you. No. I feel sorry for you because you keep doing it to yourself. You're never, ever going to be able to understand how black technology works because you think it's just all black paint in the back of your mind. And it's not. There's a difference between it. Like I said, in order to make that screen function and work, it has to pull a white level. If it can't pull a white level, that means all the colors are going to come out too dark. You don't understand the science behind that. That's why when you asked me to turn my vinyl screen around, I smiled. I had no problem doing that demonstration because I knew what the outcome was going to be because I'd done this one already for a company. Every time a company contacts me, they always want me to do something interesting with the black paint to see if they can figure out ways how to cut corners instead of going through us. But eventually they have to go through us and buy from us. So this is why we do these demonstrations. So this is something we do all the time. But and keep in mind, we did the entire demonstration, something you never do, in a fully lit environment. Like I said, there's so many ways we can go about this. The fact that we did it in a fully lit environment. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's like the customers are paying for this stuff. I really feel sorry for you, I do. At the end of the day, man, no one's laughing at you. I feel sorry for you, I do. I do feel sorry for you. The fact that you just go to these levels of just trying to basically tear someone's product down. And for every time I come on here, what happens? You always sink a level even lower than you just started from. You don't learn. I just embarrassed you a few minutes ago on basically debunking your whole theory on basically how our screens are supposed to come out so dark. Did the exact same video with your screen paint and a primer right against the screen. Didn't even come up the exact same way. And mind you, my whole video was done live. And now I come back on you and have to do the same thing, embarrass you again by flipping the screen around and showing you, look, it doesn't pull the same white level. Our screen pulls a higher white level. And if our screen pulls a higher white level than a screen that can't see contrast, can't see white levels, then that means the black paint that you mixed in your video, bottom line is our screen paint would have definitely saw a higher white level than black paint because black paint can't see white. Kind of see how the two go together? There you go. Oh, man, I swear. I couldn't imagine being your school teacher. Good gracious. Man, you gotta be something else, boy. I'll tell you one thing. If you had my military father, I'll tell you from the door, two things would have happened. Yeah, no, one thing would happen. You knocked all your teeth out. Some of the stuff that you do, boy, I'm telling you. My goodness. Yes, this. I have nothing to say to the boy. I don't. I have nothing to say to him. I'm not even going to call you a man. I have nothing to say to you at all. That is pathetic. That is really pathetic. Just quit while you're ahead. You ever heard that line about quitting while you're ahead? Well, don't come up with any more dumb stuff. You're just going to be embarrassed again. That's all. Skyworth, food demonstration. Sit there and try to be nice to you and sit there and say, hey, look, his product does work. You know, trying to be nice to you. And you just keep coming out here and with these dumb nonsense and embarrassing yourself. If you notice, I'm sitting here doing my demonstration. I'm doing some. I'm actually looking up something right now, and I have my lights on. I have to be in the dark to do this. I don't have to worry about my screen washing out. Let's go over to, let me take this up right here. What was I asking for? Oh, I know what I was asking for, but I wouldn't bring it up. She's just been having her attitude like, no, it's not going to happen. See what you understand about black technology, Crow. It has to pull a certain white level. We already know up here that it's not going to pull a white level as high as a white screen. It's not going to pull a white level as high as some of the gray screens out there. But it has to pull a high enough white level where the customer can see the image clean. This is why I know when you do those demonstrations and those images come up that dark, this is how we know you're faking it. Nobody can trust your word because you do fake demonstrations. You're not honest for people. Go watch that demonstration. I'm going to go put away my stuff, clean up my area. See how beautiful the sky is? Look how beautiful and blue that is. Never learn. Never ever learn. Sad, Crow. Real sad. Like I said, if my image was so dark, there is nowhere in the world I'd really use this screen in a fully lit environment. It'd be impossible. It'd be virtually impossible. I couldn't use it. But yet here I am using my screen in an environment that's well lit and better lit than yours. Well, that jealousy, man, I'm telling you. That jealousy. That's a shame. So you sitting there working hard to concentrate on your craft to make it better. You got nothing better to do but tear down other people's work. That's sad. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, my technology comes from God. And every time you bring me on here, all that's going to happen is you're going to be laid to waste. Every single time. I try not to go too far with the shuffling and dancing. I try not to. But man, this guy just never learns. How many videos I've been on here already today? I've been on here a few times, haven't I? He just glutton for abuse. Here's another one for you. Same thing when I made the ultralight gray. What's the first thing I said when you design a gray screen paint? You have to test it against other gray screens. You have to do contrast levels. When we showed the ultralight grays off, and the video demonstrations are there live to prove it, we had the screen tested against, I think, 15 certified screens. We did the test against different forms of different light gray screens, dark gray screens, and so forth. We did different shades of colors as we do in all our test demonstrations. It had to be pulled back 22 feet. Everything that we put these screens through, that ultralight screen paint had to go through. Even had to do a star fill demonstration versus other screens, versus gray primer. Something that you don't do. And this is my gray screen paint. That costs less than yours. It's better than yours, and it costs less than yours. And if you don't believe me, I'll put a link down at the bottom. You can check it out for yourself with a side-by-side demonstration of my light gray screen paint versus Crows, both of your screens at the same time, and gray primer. A gallon of mine for my product, $158. That's what it costs my customers. What's it cost your customers for a gallon? $323, because you charge $75 a quart. There's no gallon sizes. And all the while, they're paying for primer. Yeah, stop doing these dumb demonstrations. You have to stop doing this. You're making yourself look bad. So I'm going to get back to my summer sale. Also, too, thank you to my customers that have supported my company. I really appreciate it. And sorry you have to see this nonsense. But like I said, I have to deal with this from time to time to certain people that just don't know how to act right. We have to keep them in place. Let's check out real quick. Philips 4K demonstrations. Nope, we don't need that. Thank you. It's a demonstration I just did a few minutes ago, showing off your dark video next to my video that was supposed to come up. Super dark. I'll put that at the bottom link too, so you can see the side-by-side comparison. And I can see why you did that demonstration in the dark. If any one of those contrast levels would have popped up and you was in a full lit environment, your screen would have faded. Somebody just sent me a message up on the phone telling they should call it anything she can't get it right. You don't put the time in, man. You know how many hours that I had to put in? Literally, how much hours, test hours alone to put in to design products. It's a lot of work to get a black screen to produce like this. It's a lot of work. You don't understand hard work. All you understand is cutting corners. That's all you know. That's all you know. Oh, I can't wait to get my 150-inch screen. Do you have any idea? I had a 138-inch 235.1 sitting up here. I just gotta wait until Saturday. Saturday, my lumber will be here. I can start the construction of building the massive giant screen. Oh man, I cannot wait. I don't even know what I'm gonna play on it first. I might just bring my Dreamcast downstairs and just play some giant Power Stone on it. That's what I might do. Power Stone! I don't know. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch first. I don't know. I might be in here more now. I'm usually in there more, but I'm probably gonna be in here more now. I wanted to go outside and do a demonstration, man, but it's looking kind of cloudy outside. I really don't want to wire up all that equipment and then boom, get hit with a rainstorm. I'm losing my projector. What way is looking up here? Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna hate you for Crow. I feel sorry for him, that's basically about it. I just feel sorry for him. I just don't understand people, I really don't. You watch people work hard and he just wants to come in and just trash it all because he's mad and upset. Work harder, put the time in. Stop cutting so many corners. I mean, you can do it, it's not a problem. You just gotta work. Work at it. Look at those beautiful colors. That's on my $230 projector. I love the fact that I just don't pay anything for a projector. And this is a used, outdated, old projector. Nothing special about it. I'm about to show the contrast capabilities of the black screen. The Black Nova. Well, that's a big dog. Black Nova! I'll tell you, I try in these videos not to showboat too much. I really do. Just, man, come on, dude. If this was anybody else and you prove somebody wrong on that level, yeah, y'all be out there doing a Super Bowl shuffle right in the middle of the street. I love how people say one thing, but they do something else. Woohoo! Yeah, I figure out I'm gonna bracket this thing to the wall. It's a 150-inch screen. It's like 81 feet high, something like 100. Is it 145? It's big. I figure out what kind of LED lights we use. Can have, oh, it's acoustic too. I'm gonna get some tower speakers. I'm gonna get some tower speakers right here and here because you're not gonna see them. They're gonna be hidden behind the screen. Oh, that is gonna be sick. I might just wrap speakers all around the screen. All right, I'm gonna just randomly play and grab a few things. Get this all cleaned up in here. Mind you, Crows, do you know that our lights are on? As a matter of fact, let's take a walk around. Why are we in this one spot? So it's designed with a 190-degree viewing angle, which means I can stand right here. Boom! I can see the screen, no problem. Let's walk around. This screen's going to pick up anywhere in the environment anyway. Yeah, screen is sure it's coming up dark. It's, oh, God. I'll do that. Okay, people. People have been asking me when the 150-inch signature 17s are going to be available. Really can't make it available until I get the surface here and inspect it. Then we have to coat the surface to see if the surface is going to be able to marry well with the formula. And then after that, I have to actually build a screen out of it. So I have to build me a full 150-inch screen, which, like I said, is a blessing because I was going to actually drop almost $300 or $400, almost $400 into an aluminum fixed frame screen, which I'm glad I didn't have to do because I can't stand borders, man. I hate the borders around the screens. I like to have that borderless. And when you have the acoustic screens, they're completely borderless. I love them like that. But anyway, so and it saves me a lot of money too, like $60 altogether with the hardware and stuff. So anyway, I can't tell you what I'm getting for wholesale for it. But anyway, once I get a chance to build the screen and all that's done, I'm going to load up on the website and it'll be ready for sale. It's going to go for around $348. So we got about 30 or 40 people in line waiting for that one right there. What else we got? Oh yeah, the 120 inches will be back in stock on May the 6th. I was able to get one of them today, and I had to send that off to a customer. So I'll be demonstrating his screen. Another customer's 100-inch screen. We'll be showing those off. But May the 6th, shopping cart will open up, and this time when I go by, I'm gonna get 1,000 of them and put them on stock. Have them here, so that way if they go through a shortage, at least I got 1,000 of them on me. Remember my lesson next time. All right, people, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration, whatever you want to call it. I guess demonstration, whatever. As for Jamie, Fernando, or I guess that's what your name is. You got so many names. We can't tell you to mind your own business because you don't know how to mind your own business. You just come out here and do something even more stupid. I have to show you up again. That's all. That's what's going to happen. But I enjoyed it anyway. So, like I said, you wanted me to show the back of my screen? No problem. That's no problem for me. We have to do those demonstrations anyway. But, like I said, I expect for you, and I'm pretty sure everybody else wants to see it, of you basically making that paint, that video you deleted, and matching it against all your products, and doing the demonstrations how we do them. Nothing in the dark, nothing where you're basically flashing, you're just a whole bunch of whatever images across the screen, none of that nonsense. Do it legit by the book, okay? Also, too, that P2 you have, display that 2,000 or 2 million to 1 contrast. Do it in a fully lit environment. You see how my walls look? Let me give you, because I have to explain to this guy how well lit an environment has to be. You see how well lit my environment looks right here? Or the one I have upstairs with the windows hitting the screen. If your screen, as you portray it to your customers, can pull a contrast level, because you're constantly doing contrast levels in the dark, I would like to see one with the lights on, displaying a starfield demonstration. All right, so let's see if he does that at all, which he's not going to do. He's going to come back on here and say, well, I give him another challenge, and I'll give him another challenge. No, dude, no. We've already proved you wrong too many times. All right, people. Oh, I like that. Look how that just falls off of that. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? All right, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to grab me something to eat, and I'm pretty sure I think it's raining. All right, got to go, and God bless.